Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, cost-cutting and raising prices are key themes in US business at present, sure to challenge the Fed's policy path. First, in the US, there was an outsized jump in the number of people making initial jobless claims last week, 310,000 for the week. That pushed up the number of people on these benefits to 1.94 million. And US producer prices also came in higher than expected, rising in November from October and from a year ago levels, but more than expected, up from 2.6% year on year in October, which also the November expectation, to 3%. Inflation isn't beat. And key data from India came in pretty much as expected. Their November consumer inflation rate was 5.5% in a small reduction, and their October industrial production rose 3.5%, also a slowing. And China intends to ramp up economic support next year, including measures to boost domestic consumption as it braces for the fresh trade war with the US, a closely watched leadership meeting signalled yesterday. At their annual Central Economic Work Conference, which sets the tone for the upcoming year's agenda, China's leaders pledged to implement more proactive macro policies and expand domestic demand. Their statement listed supporting consumption and investment as top priorities for the economy next year. And as expected, the ECB cut its policy rate by 25 basis points overnight, the fourth time this year, on a more favourable inflation outlook. Their disinflation is well on track, they say. Meanwhile, the Swiss central bank cut its policy rate by double that, by 50 basis points, in an unexpectedly large cut. This marks the fourth straight rate reduction and the steepest since January 2015, bringing borrowing costs to their lowest level since November 2022, returning them to just 0.5%. In Australia, their employment rose by 35,600 in November, from October up 334,000 in a year. That's a 2.1% annual rise. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.31% and up 7 basis points from this time yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,681 an ounce, down $33 from yesterday. And oil prices are down 50 US cents to $69.50 in the US, while the international Brent price is up 50 US cents, now just on $73 a barrel. Following OPEC, the IEA is warning of a potential supply overhang in 2025 as demand remains modest and energy efficiency rises. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at just under 57.9 US cents, down 10 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 30 basis points at 90.6 Australian cents. Against the euro, also down 10 basis points at 55.1 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 67.7, to be down another 10 basis points from yesterday. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. And we'll do this again on Monday.